Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and tonight I am going to do a review for Chivalry 2. So I'm probably going to end up, coming circling back around to this game after a while, after I've had a lot more play with it. But as of right now, I am completely satisfied with this game. Okay, so I didn't plan on picking this up at first. It was just kind of something that I decided, you know what, I want to try that. I'm really into like medieval and Roman type stuff, so I mean it definitely fits that description of game that I like to play. The biggest thing for me was it was multiplayer only, so that kind of made it a little bit like, oh man, I don't know if I want to buy it or not. But so long story short, I decided to pick it up, and I'm having a good time with this game. So Chivalry 2 is a medieval, basically like a battlefield, like basically Battlefield. If anybody who's ever played a Battlefield game knows, like you got the conquest mode. You start at one part of the map and you work your way all the way through. These maps are pretty good size. They are full of stuff to do. You can pick up things in the environment and like throw them at people. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of character to this game as well. And like in terms of going through and like the crafting that went into the armor sets, the build of the worlds themselves look really nice. I'm playing this on Xbox Series X, so the visuals are definitely at a higher quality. There's more texture, more texture present. The maps just look beautiful. The gameplay has been solid so far. I haven't ran into any bugs. No glitches, no screen tearing, no frame drops, nothing like that. Even on pretty big maps. So you got your conquest mode. That's 64 players, 32 on each side, which is it can get pretty hectic, pretty fast. There's a lot of up close and personal fighting to this. The combat is extremely deep. Like it is pretty deep. I mean, at first you might feel like, oh gosh, this is I mean it's kind of, but once it clicks, once the combat clicks for this game, it clicks and it gets good. And my suggestion is, if you're going to buy this, jump right into the offline practice mode. It'll set you up with a bunch of AI, so you can get in there and like really practice and because it throws them at you. I mean, just like it is in the game when you're playing online, against other players. The AI is far easier than playing against other players, but it throws so many of them at you so quick that like you can get overwhelmed pretty quick. And the way the game functions is like when you swing your sword, if you keep turning your hips and turning the sword, you'll cut way more people. You'll cut like in a big circle. You could probably swing your sword and spin in a circle and do like a helicopter. I haven't tried that yet, but you've got an overhead slash, you've got a jab, you've got the swing, you've got a special move, you've got you can throw weapons. You could pick weapons up off the ground and throw them at enemies. You can pick up a chicken, put it in fire, and then throw it at people. You get like a special like little weapon, like a bomb. You click the thing and you hit that. There's a recharge for you can blow your horn and heal everybody that's in a vicinity and yourself. You get one bandage to heal yourself when you get hurt. If you get knocked down but you don't die, you can still try to fight your way back to your feet. Like this game is pretty intense, for the most part. I've done a lot of these online battles. They usually range from anywhere from like 5 to 15 minutes or so for the ones that I've played. They're not as long as like a Battlefield. It is as long as like the Battlefield conquest mode and stuff like that. They are pretty decent sized maps. I don't think they're not as big as Battlefield for sure. They're definitely smaller. They're more they're more curated. There is destructible things so far that I've seen. You can get catapults. You can destruct things. there's a lot going on in this game that I just don't feel like I've had enough time to give you a complete, like, 100% review of it, like every single feature. I mean, like there's 4 different classes. You know, you got your archer, your vanguard, your footman, and your knight, and they have 3. What is it, like 3? There's like subclasses of these as well, so you can level them up. You know, there's like I think there's like a knight that you can get that's a tank build. You know, so everything that you like put into this, like every item in the the unlockables are unlockable with in-game currency, like everything in there. So, but they also do have a microtransaction. You can buy coins to buy new armor and to buy other stuff that you haven't unlocked yet if you want to just. But you can buy it, but you can't skip ahead with your levels. If you're not like level 12, then you can't put on the armor. So you still have to get through to get your new armor and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But if you're playing, I did spend like $10 and get, because that's the only package you can get is $10 for 100 crowns. I bought a pack so that I could see, you know, if it's predatory or not. And the amount of stuff that I could unlock with that $10 was pretty good. I actually bought $10 worth, and they gave me $10 for free when I bought it. I don't know if they do that like your first time or what the incentive was for that. It didn't say anything. It didn't say it was going to do that. So I don't know if that's just something they're like, hey, you know, because when you go in there to buy it, it says, hey man, if you're not in a good financial state, don't be buying microtransactions. The only reason we're selling this basically is so that we can continue to support the game long term. So I mean, it sounds like they're trying to be, you know, like it sounds like they're trying to just earn more money to continue to support the game, which is cool, you know. I mean, I don't have a problem with microtransactions sometimes. It depends. Some games are just like ridiculous, but the amount of stuff you get for the $10 that you spend is pretty decent, you know. I mean, it's pretty decent, especially if they give you that extra, you know, that extra 1,000 crowns that I got, you know, if you buy it, you know, your first time or whatever. Like, you can get a lot of stuff. Like, I could still buy more weapons and more armor and stuff like that. I bought the knight outfit that I wanted, the one that I was like, yes, I like that, so I wanted to have it, so I bought it. And I've still got well over 1,000 crowns left after buying like an epic outfit, you know, that looks really good. So I don't think the microtransactions are predatory, because everything in the shop you can earn in game. It will take a little while to get there, but I mean, this game has got the progression to go ahead. I mean, to like kind of keep you there. You keep leveling up, you keep earning money, you can buy stuff, you can unlock things. There's 4 different, you know, there's the 4 different classes, which is pretty cool. Like, I really do like this game. Like, I'm content with it. I'm satisfied. The price for this was $39.99 for the Xbox Series X version that has pretty close to 4K visuals. I mean, it looks good. It looks good all the time. There's no slowdown. There's no popping. The combat, oh my gosh, like I wasn't having like a hard time in the online. Like, I was doing pretty well. The combat didn't really click for me really good until I started playing the offline practice mode. Then it freaking clicked, and like I'm starting to get good. I'm starting to understand, you know, the movement, you know, because when I'm online, you know, I kind of like just like, I get kind of scatterbrained, you know, when I'm first trying to learn a game. So having this offline practice mode was freaking perfect for me. It gives me the opportunity to catch my bearings without feeling like I'm trying to do something. I'm just trying to learn. So having that in there was amazing. There is a tutorial in there as well. And then with the modes, I don't know if I said this, the modes, you got Conquest, Team Deathmatch, and then a free-for-all mode. Conquest is 64 players. Team Deathmatch is 40 players. And then it's Team Deathmatch mixed modes. So I don't know exactly what that means yet, because I've only been playing the 64 player one because I like that. I like that large scale siege battle type stuff. This is really good. Okay. The only other experience I have to compare this game to would be For Honor, and I feel like the combat in this was far easier to pick up than in For Honor, because you can still like block and parry and do everything in this, but it's all motion based, and like you push the button, and like it feels good. It feels smooth. At first it feels a little, off, but once you understand that, like, when you swing your sword, you still have full control of the movement of your sword. When you stab, if you keep pushing up, you'll go further. When you slice down, you can move to the side. You have basically full control of the movement of your sword. Once you swing it, you can keep, guiding your weapon to wherever you're trying to go. So once you understand that and how that moves, this game becomes a lot more fluid, way faster. You can be surrounded by a bunch of dudes and like swing at them, and then if they block or you block, then you can swing right back really quick, and then hurry up, and while you're swinging your weapon, you can go to block. It's good, and it feels good. And at first I was like, ooh, gosh, I don't know, man. This combat feels, I like the setup and everything. It's really cool, but the combat felt a little weird to me at first. But now, yeah, it works. This game is freaking amazing. I do love it. This is something that I'm going to continue to play probably a lot. I don't think I've ever found an experience like this that is because normally I stop playing like multiplayer games like fairly quickly after I get them. I usually buy the game for the campaign, and then I'll play the multiplayer for until something else comes out, and then I quit playing them. Except for like For Honor. Okay, so For Honor, I go back to fairly regularly. I would say maybe every couple of months. Every time I'm like, I do get that urge to go and play For Honor, but this definitely is going to completely replace For Honor as my go-to, medieval, fighting game. This is amazing. I like this. It appears like they're going to continue to support this game, so maybe new maps, maybe new weapons, maybe new character customization. If these guys keep putting out really cool looking knight outfits, I would probably keep buying them. That's or trying to earn the money to get them in game. It depends. Like if I'm still playing this game and they're putting stuff, and I'm saving up all my, because the knight outfit that I bought right now, I love it. I don't see myself changing it until something better comes along. So basically, if they put something else out cool and I still have all my crowns that I already bought, maybe I'll just buy it then, But yeah, like I feel like this game is definitely worth the money. You could do a lot worse spending $40 in the video game market than buying Chivalry 2. Now, this game is going to be probably pretty niche for the most part. Like, you're going to have to be into like knights and, medieval stuff, and you're going to have to be into that setting because it makes it fun, and it makes it it is generally like a pretty good role-playing thing. And the way I looked at, buying my knight outfit is, if I was a knight back in the medieval times, I would have had to produce my own knight outfit and my own sword and my own wet horse and all of that at my own expense to go to battle. Like, you're going to battle, so you want to look good and you want to be able to defend yourself and have armor that's going to work. And that's just, kind of the way the medieval times were. Nobody bought you your armor, nobody bought you your weapons. You had to be a noble, and you had to be able to afford that. And if you weren't a noble, you had to have enough money to get that stuff. And if you could afford to and maintain it, then you could be a knight and gain, a noble status in medieval times. So sorry about the history lesson, but as far as I'm concerned, this game is definitely worth the money. I would rate this, in my opinion, like I'm going to give this game like a 90. I like it. It's good. The only reason I'm not going like higher than a 90 for this game is purely because it doesn't have a single player mode. If it had a single player mode that like I could go and like, maybe like role play other parts of the medieval fantasy, it would be amazing. Like, I would literally give this game a 10 and be like, off to playing this for a long time. The visuals look good. The performance is amazing. The combat is deep. The customization is pretty good. You've got 4 different classes with, a pretty good amount of different, uniform or armor sets and stuff like that you can acquire. There's plenty of weapons that you can acquire. I really like it. With my knight, I can either have my long sword or short sword. I can have an axe. I can have a halberd. There's plenty of different weapons. The archer class, I did try the archer class last night during a match, and it's pretty good. Like, you can shoot pretty, like, I'm satisfied even with the way that the archers shoot, because you can either zoom in or you can kind of like walk them. You don't even need to aim down your sights. You can kind of just, you can hit them with the red dot. Like, it's pretty nice. Like, I like it. So yeah, that's my final review for this. I'm probably going to come back in a little while, like a couple weeks or something, and make another follow-up video to this, and explain my progress and my journey and how it went for me, and if I'm continuing to play it, and how much time I can invest in it, because there's a lot of different games coming out here pretty shortly. A lot of experiences that are getting upgraded, and like, I know for a fact now after playing this that it's not going to get buried in my backlog. It's not going to be pushed aside for long. I do like this game. I do enjoy it, and I am going to keep playing it. So yeah, I am happy with this game. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.